What's happening, Saints fans? Welcome into our Saints free agency tracker. Obviously, NFL free agency hasn't officially opened, but the tampering period has begun, and a lot of moves have already happened. Not just for the Saints, but across the league as a whole. A lot of movement, a lot of teams changing things up, and at the end of the day, I think that it's a really, really good idea. We want to start off with what happened first thing in the morning. I already put out a video into full detail, so I'm not going to get too into it, but the New Orleans Saints, they did trade for Davon Godchaux, the defensive tackle from the New England Patriots. He's a Louisiana native. He went to LSU, and he's a great run-stopping defensive tackle, and I expect him to get a considerable amount of run, especially on those obvious rushing downs. I don't think he's going to be much of a pass rusher. Think of him pretty much opposite of Bryan Bresee, where Bresee is really good at pass rushing, but struggles against the run. It's kind of the same thing here, just flip-flopped. And the compensation, the Saints traded away a 2026 7th-round pick. All in on that. I think it's a great trade. I think it's a great thing, and he should have a big impact, specifically with Brandon Staley's scheme in that 3-4 defense. Now, here's an updated look at the Saints' defensive line. Carl Granderson, he is one of your starting defensive ends, but on the opposite, you don't know what you got. Chase Young, Tano Passanio, as well as Peyton Turner, they are all what's it called? Free agents. That's the word I was looking for. Nathan Shepard, he actually got extended. We'll talk about him in a moment. John Ridgeway as well, Christian Boyd. I think that this is a solid defensive line group, but the fact that Nathan Shepard got extended, does that mean Colin Saunders? Does that mean Binky is the odd man out? I'm not really sure. We'll talk about it in a moment, but I also think that with Davon Godchaux, he adds another element that, quite frankly, the Saints sucked at. They were horrendous against the run. They ranked 30th against the run in yards per play and yards per game. And that, quite frankly, is just something that needs to be improved. Nathan Shepard, he signed an extension. It's a 1-year extension. We're not totally sure what the details are in terms of the financial side of it, but it is a 1-year deal. He was going into his last year in free agency or with the Saints under contract. And then this move right here was the one that really stirred the pot. Paulson Adebo. He is headed up to the Big Apple. 3 years, $54 million contract, $36 million guaranteed. For what it's worth, I would have done this move. I would have brought him back for this price tag. That being said, I'm not mad that the Saints let him leave because they got to be smart spenders when it comes to spending money to bring in players that are available, that make a positive impact, and understanding you're not necessarily going to get to see the Saints be at their best without Paulson Adebo potentially there. This is all hypothetical. It's a risk reward. You bring him back, you spend a lot of money, and you get him. You let him walk, you lose the production, but you also lose the 10 penalties for over 100 yards that he had last year. So, just worth noting in that regard. I will remind you really quick, I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel. We've been going live a lot more regularly. We've also been putting out a lot more content, short form, long form. This video was filmed in our live show. We've had over 3,000 people tune in. I just got to say, it's been an absolutely electric showdown and an electric, few weeks here at Saints Now, and we are not slowing down. I promised you going into this offseason that we were going to give you the best coverage, and I made my commitment to you, the Who Dat Nation, the best fan base in all of sports, that I would be working my tail off to give you the content you deserve. And that's what I've been doing. And that's what I feel like my boy Nick Lopez has been doing. That's what I feel like this Chat Sports team has been doing. So feel free to subscribe for free videos. And also, we'll be live Wednesday for Free Agency Frenzy. Opens up officially. Subscribe, turn on your noties, and we'll see you there. But Lopez, let's just keep going through the free agency tracker. Let's pull up the list, because I want to talk about multiple players out at once. When it comes to free agency, obviously the New Orleans Saints don't have a lot of money to spend. Right now, they're currently $11.9 million over the cap. That is per Spotrac. But worth noting, you made these moves here. Dante Pettis, Davon Godchaux, and Nathan Shepard. Those are the only moves you made. You cleared money here. You saved yourself some money. That's nice. This is a good move. I don't hate this. Dante Pettis was serviceable. Whenever he filled in for Rashid Shaheed as the kicker and punt returner, and whenever he filled in as a receiver. I don't love it. I think he is like an awesome option at the very bottom of the depth chart, but I don't think he needs to be getting starting reps. with the New Orleans Saints, just as a whole, expect more moves to happen, but they got to get cap compliant first. Like I mentioned, $11.93 million over the cap. Got to clear up space by Wednesday. They will. It won't be a problem. They will. But you got to do that. So I expect moves like Chase Young, Juwan Johnson. What happens to those kind of guys? Well, I think we'll find out here on Wednesday. I don't think it'll be tomorrow. If it is tomorrow, we'll make a video to let you know. But we'll see. We'll have to see. And I do know that Mike Vrabel is the head coach of the Patriots. Earlier I said that Gerard Mayo is the head coach. I made that mistake. That was my fault. I just realized I had a brain fart. We're going to cut that part out of the video. That work? We're going to cut this part out too, Lopez. Really quick. Want to tell you guys about today's presenting sponsor. That is Fanatics. We have a really cool cup for you. Chatsports.com/Saints Cup. Link is in the comments. It's also in the description of this video. We also have this picture. It's sick. It's perfect for hot cups or hot drinks. It's perfect for cold drinks. It's perfect for frozen drinks. It's perfect for a night out with the fellas. If you're having some whiskey and cigars, it's a great thing to put your drink in. Keep it nice and cold. Keep that ice cube from melting and getting watering down your beverage. It also is perfect for crawfish bowls. I know it's the perfect time for this season, so go ahead and get this cup. Link is in the comments and description of this video. Chatsports.com/Saints Cup. Yeah, it's going to be absolutely a great deal. $10. You kidding me? Come on, go and get that. So let's talk about what Spotrac had to say in terms of their cap space as well. $11.93 million over the cap. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I do think that this move, when it comes to the New Orleans Saints and clearing up cap space, has to happen quick. I don't want to see the Saints make mistakes, and I don't want to see the Saints sign contracts that aren't amazing. But I also want to see the Saints bring in players that are worth anything. Like, I'm not going to be mean here, but Cedric Wilson, what the hell are we doing here? Cut him. Get him off the roster. He doesn't have it. His one contribution last year was that beautiful pass to Alvin Kamara, and then I think he caught a touchdown. I could be wrong. I'm not remembering. But my point being, it was so unmemorable. It was so not special. Like, stop signing these cheap, random, like, nobody guys. Like, go and get players that make a difference. Multiple moves need to happen if you want to go make a difference. Got to restructure some contracts. Got to cut some players. Got to clear up cap space still. That being said, I think that they can do that. I think that they can make it happen. They have to. It doesn't matter if I think. They have to. So we'll see how it happens. I don't think Demario Davis will get cut. He will be restructured. Mike Triplett, he did put this report out there. He hears that Demario Davis will be among the traditional restructures to help get the Saints under the cap. I also don't think it makes sense to cut Tyrann Mathieu. I know a lot of y'all are like, he's old, and what? It doesn't make... You actually save more money by restructuring him than cutting him. So, yeah. I mean, I think that the Saints are still going to be active. Like, I know that day one was slow, but Kellen Moore even said that a lot of conversations have already occurred around free agency. And we know that they were interested in possibly signing Talanoa Hufanga, but they didn't. And we also know that the team has a lot of needs. And they have to fill out a roster. That's the other part. They have to fill out a roster. So I would hope a lot of conversations have already occurred, and I would like to see those conversations come to fruition. All in all, Saints fans, not a lot has happened on day one. If anything does happen, I'll probably be making a video tonight at home from my apartment, just at my desk set up. And of course, if anything happens in the middle of the night or early in the morning, we'll be giving you a video here on the channel bright and early. So I encourage you to subscribe to the show. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate the Who Dat Nation for supporting us. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time.